Conversations with Azu Ishiekwene.
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Azu. This week, I'm excited to be here. Julius is back, looking fresher than tomato. While you were away, the price of tomato was something else.
I was going to say that you better be careful how you call tomato.
And where you went to, what happened?
The price of pepper was something else.
Right now, to see pepper is actually expensive.
So nobody should see pepper.
Nobody should see pepper. And to the man of the moment who shocks me every time, just so you know, this is like the prequel to the main book, Monetising YouTube. The man that shocks me every single time. Your skits are dropping back to back to back. It's amazing. Okay, you too much. I wish I knew you 10 years ago. Maybe I'd have been able to sharpen my entrepreneurial skills. But then there's so much to learn. But truly, before we go into today's conversation, please, how are you doing it? Give me grace.
I'm surprised at the adulation that you are showering on somebody who discovered his career. Who just discovered something towards the tail end of his career.
The next day MVCA. And who knows, maybe the Oscars will be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Here is your case.
All right, people, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Azu. And today we have a guest column written by the ever-eloquent Max Amuchie. I'm not alone. I'm going to let my colleague step in right now.
Thank you for having me. Max Amuchie states that Azu is probably one of the persons he might follow to walk blindfolded.
Mm-hmm.
Azu, how have you come to, command this kind of reputation from this kind of attention and respect from your professional colleagues?
Well, thank you, Julius. So Max and I go back a long way, but even though I was warned upfront that I also told a mutual friend who called my attention to what Max wrote about my book, that I thought that Max had had praised me far more than was good for me. So, but on a serious note, I really don't know whether I am worthy or deserving of all the praise. I just try and have tried in the last close to 40 years to just give my job the best shot through it all. But if in the course of them doing their job and you can't have done everything right, I also have had the privilege of standing on the shoulders of very great people who have been generous and kind, for whom I and to whom I owe a debt of gratitude. If in just trying to do your job as best as you can, then people get impacted or influenced in a positive way, then you just have to be grateful and thankful to both those that came before you and then also those that are working with you now to just bring you to the point. But it's still a long road, to be honest.
Long road, really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, I like your modesty. And if there's anything that I'm happy Max wrote about was the fact that he is a sticker for time, especially when he has to do with his meetings. That's why you people need to know that the book is going to be officially out next week. Buy our book. For any reason you see this book in traffic, jump and pass. The major secret of monetizing writing is not in that book. They cleaned it. So these are the approved channels where you can get the book. Just visit the website azu.media. I haven't completed the book. I have started it. Don't ask me where I saw it from. I didn't buy it in traffic.
That's comforting to know.
But I would like to basically just ask you again, why were you so magnanimous, to give us the secrets to monetizing writing? Because ordinarily, you shouldn't tell people the tricks of the trade.
Because as I said earlier on, Azu, I have also benefited from the goodwill and generosity of people before. And I think it's also in that tradition that I thought after over 35 years of being a job of doing this, I should share some of the things I have learned. And as someone said, every man is a debtor Every man is a debtor to their profession. And I think it's also part of repaying that debt to one's profession that one has sort of put this together. Yeah.
All right. Journalism and enterprise have not really been the best of collaborators so far. Given these blueprints you have set out now, do you see people becoming? Do you see Nigeria having more and more people in the class of Linda Ikeji and bloggers, people who just generate content and they blue, like you say?
Content creation is more than journalism in the traditional way in which we know it. And so there are people who are content creators who are not necessarily journalists in the traditional way that we know journalism to function. But of course, journalism is the art of storytelling, right? And it's a fundamental part of the whole gamut of content creation. And so to the question about whether, sorry, what was that question again?
Are we likely to see
whether we're likely to see
enterprise,
whether we're likely to see a meeting point between enterprise and journalism? I think that is already upon us, right? Because of the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. Many years ago, back in the early days of the profession, there were huge silos where the advert was not supposed to see or know what the editorial part of the company was doing. But I guess that as part of the evolution of journalism, as other professions also evolve, there's just been that need to have that healthy handshake because you need to survive and thrive as a business before you can do any proper journalism anyway. So that, I think, has come upon us also thanks to technology and thanks to the economic realities that we face. So I think that what the book does is also to make that point very clearly that that journalism and having a good business sense are not mutually exclusive, right? You can still practice journalism, and it's not just about here; it's what is happening in other parts of the world. The evolution of what is now called editorial business, and you find that also in reputable international magazines that have an arm that also that looks after the health and well-being of the entire country. So I do not think it is something that is new, but I guess that the economic realities and technology have combined to drive this new phase faster than probably we had known in the past.
Okay, well, speaking about the present now, I'm in the creative space, and sadly, before now, it's been a big issue, balancing the entrepreneurial part and this, and I'm happy that the book is out. But I'd like to ask, aside from monetizing writing, what else is in this book?
Okay, apart from monetizing, there's quite a whole lot that's in the book, and also Max Amuchie graciously also mentions that in his guest column today, which is very widely circulated. So apart from monetizing content, I also had a number of great interviews with some of the very highly respected professionals, professional journalists, and not in any particular order, but one that easily comes to mind, of course, is Dele Olojede, the Pulitzer Prize winner, the Nigerian Pulitzer Prize winner, who, after the experiment with Next, he hasn't had that depth of interview with any journalist anywhere, as far as I'm aware. So he shares the experience, the next part of the Next experience, and also part of the experience that made him the icon that we all sort of respect and honor today. Right? I also had interviews with other journalists. I had interviews with Abimbola Adilakun. I also spoke with. I spoke with quite a number of journalists in the book. Abimbola Adilakun was there. Non-journalists like Professor Tony Falola. I also spoke with Professor Tony Falola as well. And Farouk Berugi, I spoke with Professor Farouk Berugi as well. So quite a number of. It's not just about It's more than just about making money. It's also about commitment to professional ideals and professional practice. My good friend and classmate Chris Odediron, we call him the Odediron, also it's also a book about how you evolve from just being a journalist to meeting the challenges of the evolving media ecosystem that we all deal with. And some of these persons that I've mentioned share very generous in sharing their experience with me about how they have dealt with that sort of evolution that we have all come to know in today's practice.
And the public presentation is coming up the 26th of June.
Yes, on Wednesday, the 26th of June at the Yaradua Center at 10 a.m.
So basically, I'm thinking that whoever comes there and who reads this book, journalists, students, and all of that are already on their way to.
Definitely. The first time I met this man, you know what struck me? You see, that's his Benz. That is green Benz.
Okay.
And the first time that book dropped, I said, okay, finally he has dropped updates. So if you want to drive the Benz, that Benz I'm talking about is a classic Benz.
I don't know about
Please go and buy the book. If you want to be able to afford tomato and not complain about the price of tomato, go and learn how to monetize your writing. Don't say I never did anything for you.
Your own again.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for those generous comments.
Yeah, so it's going to be a wrap for today's episode. Don't worry, next week when we'll come back, we're going to give you guys the gist of how it went down at the official launch of the book. Particularly, I'm going to be very excited to be there because a lot of people are coming. I know for a fact that our very own, the major person who's going to be reviewing the book.
Oh, Dr. Ruben Abati.
Dr. Ruben Abati is definitely going to be there.
And the chairman of the event is the Honorable Minister for Information and National Orientation,
Yes.
Alhaji Mohammed Idris.
Yes.
Of course, the chairman of leadership will be there as the chief host. And Uncle Sam, the great and venerable Uncle Sam, has also confirmed that.
All right. So you see, it's going to be a full house. And me too, I will be there. Let me blow I'm not the author of the book. But me, I am sure going to be there. And Julius will be there too.
I shall be there. I definitely have to be
Are you sure? You don't want to make money?
I definitely have to be there.
Okay.
And for more of these, for the Dr. Ruben Abati's review, and for other things, for comedy skits, everything pertaining to this book, including this guest contribution by Max Amuchie, you can find on azuishiekwene.com. But for the book itself, the Midas, the one that gives you the Midas touch to making money, go to azu.media.
Please go there. And please don't buy our book in traffic. It's not available there. I'm going to say it again. Go to the website and order. And of course, it'll get to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I need to be talking to this man with a lot of respect. He's going to win an Oscar or an AMVCA very soon. Personally, I'm hoping that we can shift the launch to next month so that I can drop back to back those skits. But then he's going to write...
There have been newer skits as we...
Please write monetizing YouTube or Facebook. That'll be more like it.
Sequel.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, my honorable colleague that is looking fresh like tomato. We'll be here. We'll be here next week. Thank you.
Conversations with Azu Ishiekwene.